Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, I am here with Yadir Perez. We are exactly a week away from the FightersRep Fighting Pride's fight card. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling pumped up, ready to go in there and scrap.
You're coming off of a spectacular win, knockout win, I should say. I think it's safe to assume that you got a confidence boost off of the just because of the way you won. You know, am I right?
Yeah, it's always nice to get a knockout win, and it always builds confidence. It shows that you can do it again. It shows you have the power and the energy to get in there and just get it done.
How much of that confidence are you bringing from? How much of that confidence from your last fight are you bringing into this next fight?
It's a completely different fight and a completely different fighter, so I can't carry that same mentality that I was going into that fight, coming into this fight. So it's just I just have to go in there and just feel him out and see how I'm gonna work with him. But it's gonna be a completely different fighter, so different mentality.
Gotcha. So you and Eugene are both brawlers. Does it excite you that your opponent has, I would say, the same fighting style as you? Or is that just something you have to worry about more?
Yeah, no, that's exciting to me. It's exciting to me because I know it's going to be exciting for the fans watching. Me, I like to go in there and I like to box it out. And from seeing his fights, I know he likes to box it out. And I think that's what puts a show, two brawlers just going in there and just boxing it out. And I think it's going to be exciting for the fans. And it excites me knowing that the fans are going to get a good show out of it.
And I have a feeling that once your fight starts, you guys are just going to come out, fighting as soon as the sound of the bell starts. And if you ask me, I think there's going to, for the people who went to the last FightersRep card and know who you are, saw Eugene's fight as well, know that this fight is not one they should miss. So I think it's safe to assume that there's going to be more eyes on you. Does that motivate you, or does that put more pressure on you? Do you not think about that at all?
Yeah, it's better to just not think about it. I wouldn't say that we're gonna go in there and just both just rush at each other and brawl it out. I feel like the smartest thing to do would just be go in there and feel each other out for a little bit and then get to work. But what was the question? Sorry.
Oh, just just saying if that puts pressure on you, or if just knowing that more eyes will be on you for this fight, just because both you guys are great fighters. If more eyes on you will motivate you, or if you feel pressure because of it.
No, I wouldn't say it would put more pressure on me. It's just something that's gonna bring more motivation to me, is that knowing that he's gonna give it his all, I'm gonna give it my all, so it's gonna be more motivating. Not so much pressure, but just more motivation.
Gotcha. So I would say your last fight was, it's hard to say fight of the night just because it was so fast.
Yeah.
So I would say knockout of the night. But is that something you look forward to perform? To get a fight of the night or a knockout of the night, or are you just going in there, obviously perform your best, but that's not something you're looking forward to achieving?
No, that's always something I'm looking forward to achieving, is either getting fight of the night or knockout of the night. And I look forward to that because fans, they pay good money to go watch people fight, and I don't want to just put a mediocre show on them for them. So I want to make sure that when whoever shows up is gonna get a good show out of it. So I want to do my best to give them the fight of the night.
Yeah. So I hate to ask this question, but I'm still gonna ask it anyway. What are your plans for the future after this fight? Obviously, I know you're not. I don't want you to overlook, and I know you're not gonna overlook Eugene, but you know, you fought MMA before. You're in the kickboxing world now. Do you? And I know you mentioned to me early before off camera that you want to get some boxing fights. What do you think? Do you think you'll stay in the kickboxing world a little longer, or do you think
Yeah.
you'll switch over back to MMA or to boxing after this fight?
Yeah, after this fight, I'm thinking of getting my feet into the boxing ring and just testing that out, seeing how that works. And I want to do it all: MMA, kickboxing, boxing. I'm here to fight, so whatever is best for me as a fighter and whatever I have the best potential in is where I'm gonna stick around the longest. So if it's kickboxing, if it's boxing, you know, that's where I'm gonna look to succeed in. So I'm just here to try it all and see where I best fit.
And I'm a bit curious. I know you mentioned to me that you first, the first fighting discipline that you started training was boxing, correct?
No. Oh yeah. Well, I started in MMA specifically, but it was just everything together. So I never had any like specific background in anything. It was just MMA like just twice a week, and with a lot of breaks in between. So I never really had like the full training for like a few years until I got into boxing. That's when I started getting into solid boxing training, and that's when I started actually perfecting my craft in boxing. And you know, that's where I picked up my skill.
Oh, so you first started in training, doing MMA training before boxing?
Yeah, I started in MMA first, and I was doing that for a few years, but it was always on and off, and it was only twice a week, so I didn't get like the proper training I needed in MMA with all the wrestling, jiu-jitsu, the takedowns, the kickboxing, boxing. So I joined a boxing gym, and I specifically was just training only boxing, and that's where I picked up my craft in boxing. So.
Oh, okay. I got that wrong then. I thought I could have sworn you said you trained boxing first before you did MMA.
Well, my best art in mixed martial arts is boxing.
Boxing.
So, yeah, in a way, that's my background. So.
And you mentioned that you're now training at Classic Fight Team, right?
Yeah.
Getting your kickboxing training there.
Yeah.
How is that going? I know that's.
it's exciting. It's fun because I was only used to just boxing for a while, and I had coming into this fight. It's a kickboxing fight. It's a Muay Thai kickboxing. So I had to learn how to kickbox. So I joined Classic Fight Team, and those guys are tough, man. Like, you go in there, you spar with them, and they're no joke. So it's a good experience.
Have you ever gotten, well, because I know you mentioned to me that you sparred without really saying any details, but that you sparred with one of their more notable fighters, Yadir Perez, and you mentioned that they sparred pretty hard there. Was that something new that you've never experienced before in terms of how they spar, or is that something you were already used to?
No, it was completely new. Like I'm just used to the sparring that I was doing. It was completely different. Like. So going into there and sparring one of their pros, it was different because he was throwing spinning kicks, spinning elbows, flying knees. I'm like, whoa! It caught me off guard, and I like to just box. So getting kicked and all that, it was coming at everywhere in every direction. So I had to watch out for that. And, him and his brother both put beating on me, so it was good. It was a good experience, though. But shout out to Classic Fight Team. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, I think it. I wouldn't say you're lucky, but I think it's. I guess I'll throw that word in. You're lucky to you're from Garden Grove, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. And the Classic Fight Team is not too far from here, if not in Garden Grove, Fountain Valley. So that's not far at all. I think you were blessed to be have that access. Not too far from where you live. Just great team.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything else you want to say to the fans out there, friends, family?
Yeah, I would say just go out and purchase a ticket. You don't want to miss this show, especially this fight. This fight is I'm gonna try to put up a good show for you guys. So it's gonna be a good show. Don't miss out. Support your local fighters.
Appreciate your time, Yadir.
Thank you.